Hello, WWE fans. Welcome to my first pay-per-view recap show here on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I've done a few pay-per-view pre-shows, but this is my first pay-per-view recap show. Anyways, welcome to today's live stream. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week and having a great Monday. And I want to say thank you to everyone that is tuning in to this Extreme Rules 2021 recap show. So last night, WWE held its annual Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and it was a okay pay-per-view. It wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. Only one match was tested under Extreme Rules, and that was the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and the Demon Finn Balor. So this year's Extreme Rules was not really extreme. So I think a lot of fans, myself included, feel like this year's Extreme Rules was an extreme letdown. And today I am going to recap WWE Extreme Rules 2021. I'm going to go over the results of each match. I'm going to share my overall thoughts on WWE Extreme Rules. I'm going to talk about the best and worst match of the night. And then I will give my overall rating for WWE Extreme Rules 2021. Now, if you are tuned in live and you want to share your thoughts on last night's WWE Extreme Rules, post them in the comments and I will share them in the video today. So, what are your thoughts on last night's WWE Extreme Rules pay per view? Post them in the comments and I will react to them. Now, if you're catching the replay of this video, you can post them in the comments as well, and I will react to them there. So let's get started, shall we? Here are the WWE Extreme Rules 2021 results. The kickoff show had Liv Morgan facing Carmella. Liv Morgan defeated Carmella. The first match of the actual pay-per-view itself was a six-man tag team match between the New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, defeating Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos. So the WWE Champion, Big E, pinned the former WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley. The Usos, Jimmy Uso and Jay Uso, defeated the Street Profits to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Charlotte Flair defeated Alexa Bliss by pinfall to retain the Raw Women's Championship. Damian Priest defeated Jeff Hardy and Sheamus by pinfall to retain the WWE United States Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair ended in a no contest. So this is an extreme pay-per-view, and you have one of your main events ending in a no contest. That was a huge letdown for me personally. Sasha Banks returned and attacked Bianca Belair, and then eventually she would attack Becky Lynch. So something tells me at Crown Jewel we're probably going to have a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And in the main event, Roman Reigns defeated the Demon Finn Balor by pinfall to retain the Universal Championship. and that match was contested in an Extreme Rules match. The only Extreme Rules match from the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, or should I say the only match with a stipulation throughout this whole pay-per-view, which is kind of sad and stupid to think about it. If you're going to name a pay-per-view Extreme Rules, all the matches should have some sort of a stipulation. So those are the results of WWE Extreme Rules 2021. Now I'm going to get into my overall thoughts. So my overall thoughts on WWE Extreme Rules 2021. Where do I begin? I think this pay-per-view was okay. It wasn't the worst pay-per-view I've seen, but it wasn't the best one I've seen either. I would say that this was one of the worst pay-per-views of 2021. Um, they have put together a lot of good pay-per-views this year, but this one was one of the bad ones. Like I said earlier, the name of this pay-per-view is WWE Extreme Rules. That means every match should have a stipulation, but only the main event did. And we'll talk about the main event in a few moments. But I thought going into the pay-per-view that the matches were going to get stipulations announced at the moment the pay-per-view started. I thought the matches were going to be like no disqualification or anything like that, or something like that when it came time to air the match. But no, they were just regular matches. So I kind of feel let down that there were no stipulations for most of the matches. However, the match quality was pretty good for most of the matches. The stories were being told for most of the matches, so that was good in that aspect. Um, but Extreme Rules could definitely have been a better pay per view than it actually was. So, the opening 6-man tag team match was a way to utilize the WWE champion and get him on the pay per view. That's all that was about. It was to get WWE champion Big E on the pay per view and to further the feud between Big E and Bobby Lashley. So that was okay. I was okay with that. That was a good opening match for the pay per view Extreme Rules. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship match was great. I really enjoyed that. I thought that the Street Profits and the Usos brought the best out of each other, and they delivered a really interesting match. And I really personally enjoyed that match. Now, the Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss Raw Women's Championship match was okay. I really didn't care for that match, but I'm interested to see where Alexa Bliss is heading now after she'd been attacked in her hometown and the loss of Lily. Will this lead to a heel turn for Alexa Bliss, or will this lead to a more darker character for Alexa Bliss? But one thing is for sure, Charlotte Flair has more heat coming off of this pay-per-view. Damian Priest defeated Jeff Hardy and Sheamus by pinfall. So the triple threat match for the United States Championship technically was under a stipulation of no disqualification because that's what all triple threat matches are. But this match was pretty good as well. It was a good match for those who like entertaining spots. And the rightful winner was Damian Priest. He's going to continue to be United States champion, I think. He deserves that title, and he's continuing to prove himself on the main roster. So I was happy with the outcome of that match. The SmackDown Women's Championship match, that had to be one of the worst matches of the night. Um, why would you have a screwy finish, a shit finish for that match when you're building a feud between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair? So it was a weird finish. I just don't get it. But Sasha Banks returning was one of the best moments of the pay per view. So now I can see um, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks at an upcoming pay per view, maybe Crown Jewel next month, or Survivor Series in November, or TLC in December. This is a good time of year to be a WWE fan because we've got Crown Jewel coming up, which is like the Saudi Arabia version of a WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Then we've got Survivor Series, where Raw and SmackDown go head to head, and then TLC, and then the Royal Rumble, which kicks off the WrestleMania season. But I kind of wanted to see an actual winner in the Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair match. I would have been happy with a roll up win or a submission victory, and then Sasha Banks could have come out and attacked the two women wrestlers, Bianca Belair and the SmackDown champion, Becky Lynch. The main event, Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor, was awesome. I liked it. I just don't like the finish. They both delivered amazing spots in this match. There was a lot of intensity in this match. I really liked Roman Reigns spearing Finn Balor through the barricade. That was awesome. And also seeing Finn Balor come back to life after being taken out by the Usos. You know, for a second there, I thought Finn Balor, the demon, was going to resurrect and come all the way back to win the Universal Championship. That was pretty cool. However, the ending to the match where he falls off the top rope and hurts his leg or whatever, and Reigns hits the spear to win, kind of makes no sense. Yes, you want Reigns to be a strong champion, but this defeat is odd. It's controversial. It's unorthodox. And a lot of people are wondering what's next for the Demon Finn Balor. Where does the Demon Finn Balor go after this loss? Who knows? Maybe they're going to make the Demon Finn Balor into like a fiend character or something. But overall, this pay per view was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It could have been better. But my overall thoughts on WWE Extreme Rules 2021 is that it was okay. It could have been better, but hopefully the stories coming out of this pay per view will be good. All right, so the best match of the night for me is really hard to pick because the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and the Usos was good, but I'm going to have to go with the main event between Roman Reigns and the Demon Finn Balor. I really enjoyed that match, even with the crappy ending. I think that was a good match, and I'm interested to see where the Demon King Finn Balor goes from here. The worst match of the night is obviously the Raw Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. That match could have been better, but I'm not a fan of Charlotte or Alexa, so maybe that's why I picked this as the worst match of the night. All right, and my last topic for my first pay per view recap show, my overall rating for WWE Extreme Rules 2021. Wow, let's see. This is going to be tough. This will be the very first WWE pay per view that I give a D plus. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good. So I would give this a D plus. So hopefully Crown Jewel will be a better pay-per-view. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed my very first pay-per-view recap show. This was the best moment of WWE Extreme Rules 2021, Sasha Banks returning. That, in my mind, was the best moment of Extreme Rules last night. Tonight, on Monday Night Raw, live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the USA Network, this is kicking off Raw, a WWE Championship match. WWE Champion Big E defends against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Unfortunately, I will be working, so I won't be able to watch this match, but I'm hoping Big E retains his WWE Championship. So make sure you guys check out that match on Raw tonight. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pro Wrestling 101 WWE Extreme Rules 2021 recap. I will see you on my next wrestling video, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Have a good day, guys and gals, and thank you for watching.